So anyway, talked about this in the last video or whatever, because I was gonna watch this movie and I didn't. We watched It Follows, whatever. But so Enter the Stars did this video. There's another part I haven't watched it yet. Hopefully I will before I go to bed here. But anyway, it's called Tomorrowland. Originally called 1952, which just rung a bell to me, and I talked about it. It's 1952. We've talked about it tons of times, but Tomorrowland just reminded me, for whatever the reason, I thought of the Little Orphan Annie, Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. You know, I'll love you tomorrow, or however the song goes. It's only a day away, and that's very interesting because of something that Bill Murray tweeted. And so Bill Murray tweeted on January 9th, which is 1/9. You could give me 67 years to do something, and I wouldn't do it until the night before, right? So tomorrow, I don't know, it's like the next day. He won't do it until the next day kind of thing, or the night before tomorrow. But anyway, 67 is actually the 19th prime number. So interesting that that would be written on there on 1/9. And this person claims to not be anything associated with Bill Murray. I'm not Bill Murray, blah, blah, blah. But if you go through and read some of these things, they're definitely associated. Maybe it isn't Bill Murray, but they're definitely associated with something that knows something, because they write things on certain days and whatnot that just don't make any sense. And then if you look it up, it actually, there's like just tons of stuff that goes with it. Well, I mean, I know he says to do it the night before, but I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I associated that with tomorrow, because the night before is kind of like the night before tomorrow. It's hard to explain the way I'm thinking of it, but let's check. I checked out Little Orphan Annie then. And I guess I just want to explain it again. So it's only a day away. So the night before would be the day away from tomorrow. That's what I was getting at. But anyway, Little Orphan Annie, the first film of Little Orphan Annie, was in 1932. And the film is actually based on a comic strip called Little Orphan Annie by Harold Gray. I mean, just Gray in general. We're talking about Freddie Gray, right? He even died on 5/9, born in 1894, the mirror of 49, but Harold Gray. And then the first lady to play Annie in the first film, Mitzi Green. I mean, green and gray have been huge colors. Talked about them tons of times. Feel like maybe they're kind of doing a the green was a big color of 2014 and whatnot, with like Ted and Ebola, and then gray kind of is new. So I don't know if they're kind of bringing in the gray or something, getting rid of the green. But definitely both significant colors that they've used a lot in the news and whatnot. So this film also came out on November 4th, 1932, 11/4, Egyptian Valentine's Day, 44. Tons of stuff. Just found it kind of interesting. So the song Tomorrow is a song from the musical, obviously, from, it says 1977. And the music is written by this guy, Charles Strauss, who was born on 6/7. And then the first cover of the song, or I'm assuming the first cover, 1977 or 78, whatever, was Grace Jones on her debut album, Portfolio. And this album was released on September 6, 1977, which if you go back in the old days, septum is 7, so 7, 6, the mirror of 67. And also, this lady is even 67 years old. She just turned 67 years old on May 19th. So then when the movie went to the theater or whatever, or as plays or whatever, not Broadway yet, the first appearance was actually on August 10th, 1976, the mirror of 67. But August 10th is also the 222nd day. And let's see here. The first lady in theater to play her was Kristen Vigard, who, of course, is 52 years old this year, just like Michael Jordan in the 52, and we've talked about that for a long time now. Then they got rid of that girl, and they got a new girl, and then the show went to Broadway, and the girl that played Annie was Andrea McArdle, and it premiered on Broadway on April 21st, 1977. That is Queen Elizabeth II's birthday. Talked about that. That's 21-4, Valentine's, all kinds of stuff with that number. I actually just talked about that, but just interesting. That's the Queen's birthday. And this is the lady who played Annie, and she was born on that magical November 5th, 11/5/55, time travel. Oh, just tons of stuff with November 5th. And she will be 52 this year. And I mean, even more interesting is that they just did a remake of this movie with Jamie Foxx and whatnot. I haven't watched it, but kind of interesting. They just did a remake, and they remade it with a black girl instead of a white girl like it always had been before. So that's kind of interesting. But let's look at Jamie Foxx. It says he's the star of it, other than Annie. And of course, Jamie Foxx, born in 1967. And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched any of these movies for a long time, but this new one even has cameos with Michael J. Fox, a guy we've talked about a ton of times, with Lupercalia and whatnot. But you read what characters they're playing. So himself, Mila Kunis is the lead actress in Moonquake Lake. Rihanna is the moon goddess, a supporting character in Moonquake Lake. Like, that's, I don't know, the moon goddess? That's pretty weird. And the Moonquake Lake, like earthquake with a moon, or just a quake on the moon, which supposedly, according to science and whatnot, would actually affect the earth. Even more interesting, she was the moonquake or whatever, and it was Rihanna, and Rhiannon is the Celtic goddess of the moon. So, or a Welsh goddess. So I mean, I don't know. That's kind of funny that she's the moon person, and then the moonquake god, the god of the moonquake, and then Rhiannon is literally the goddess of the moon. And I know I talked about this before in a video. It's a Stevie Nicks song even, and there was something to do with The Exorcist, and Rhiannon may or may not have something to do with King Arthur pulling out the real Excalibur, because when he pulled the sword of the stone, supposedly it wasn't the real Excalibur, and he got it from the Lady of the Lake, who supposedly might have been Rhiannon. But yeah, I'm not even going to go into it because I'd have to go back and research it, and I just can't do it tonight. So, moral of the story, it doesn't have to even mean much, but just thought of it because of Tomorrowland, and then one of the most famous songs on Annie is Tomorrow, Tomorrow, It's Only a Day Away. And Bill Murray had that tweet about the next day. And then looked up Annie Found a whole bunch of 67s, only like 3 or 4, but still interesting that there's a lot of, 67s that go with it. That's all I wanted to say, I guess. So anyway, have a great night. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything, but I don't believe in coincidences anymore. It's just it happens every day, all day long. So no way. Have a good night.